Okay, so now we're going to look at scale diagrams. So you find scale diagrams on maps, house plans and model drawings. So when we notice a scale on a map, you might see it as 1 and 2 dots and then say 1,000. So what that means is this 1 means on the map. So that's on the map, and this one here is on the ground. So if we look at this, if this is 1 centimetre on the map, then this is going to be 1,000 centimetres on the ground. So what's 1,000 centimetres is 10 metres. It could be, if you had a really big map, 1 metre on the map means 1,000 metres. So whatever this is, it's the same unit for this. So we might have, let me see if I do it in another colour, we might have a scale that's 1, the 2 dots, to 250. So that might mean 1 centimetre on the map is 250 centimetres on the ground. It could be 1 metre on the map. If you had a huge map, there's 250 metres on the ground. So you've got to know your conversions. So if we got up here, 1 kilometre equals 10,000 metres, 1 metre equals 100 centimetres, 1 centimetre equals 10 mils. So you've got to keep those ones in mind. So whatever the scale is, you've got to look at this to over here. So if we've got a scale that's 1 to 10,000, so that means 1 centimetre on the map represents 10,000 centimetres on the ground. Now, we've got to learn our conversions. So I know that 1 centimetre on the map is 10,000 centimetres on the ground. 10,000 centimetres is 100 metres. Okay? So your ratio on your scale diagram is always in the same unit, so centimetres to centimetres. So that would be written as 1, and then you've got your 2 dots, to 10,000. So that's a map. So the first number is your map, the second is on the ground. 10,000 centimetres is 100 metres. So if we look at this, how far on the ground in metres represents the following map distance. So if we have 2 centimetres, so we go down here, 2 centimetres, we simply times it by our 10,000 up here because that's our ratio. So 2 times 10,000 is 2,000 centimetres. So then we have to convert that 20,000 centimetres. So then we have to convert 20,000 centimetres to something that's more realistic, or just to convert to 200 metres. We don't tend to talk about centimetres on the ground. Over here, we've got 1 millimetre. Okay, so we know for every 1 millimetre on the map is to 10,000 millimetres. This was what I was saying before. This is like a ratio. So if this is millimetres, that's millimetres. If that's kilometres, then that's kilometres. So they have to have the same units up here. So we're looking at 1 millimetre, so 1 millimetre times 10,000 is 10,000 millimetres. So we've got to go back and think about our conversions. 10,000 millimetres is the same as 10 metres. If we look here, part B, how far on the map this time in centimetres is represented by the following ground distances. So this time I'm going the opposite way. I'm going from the ground to the map. When I went this way, when I went that way, I was multiplying. When I go that way, what do you think? I'm going the opposite direction, so it's going to be divide. So if we have a look here, if we've got 1,000 metres on the ground, so 1,000 metres on the ground, we've got to divide by the 10,000. So divide by the 10,000. So 1,000 is 0.1 metres. Convert that, we've got our 10 centimetres. We've got here 5 kilometres. So once again we stick to the same ratio. So we've got our 5 kilometres, we divide it by 10,000 because it's a ratio. So 5 divided by 10,000 is 0.0005 kilometres. That's a small amount. We've got to convert that, and we ended up getting 50 centimetres. So remember that these are ratios. Okay, so if I've measured that in millimetres, this side's millimetres. This is kilometres, that side's kilometres. So we do our ratio. When we go from this way, it's times this way. From ground to map is divide. From map to ground is multiply. If you remember that, you should be right. Okay.